Hello, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching. My name is Sergo Kohal. I'm working for Tallinn Municipal Police Department, Civil Protection, and today there is a quite interesting topic. I'm about to talk to you about Tallinn crisis management, information management. How do we manage information during the crisis situations, what kind of information we are managing and what kind of solutions we are having today. And also we are lacking some of the solutions. We have some, let's say, challenges related to crisis management informations, and I'm also trying to bring out and emphasize these needs during my presentation. So be welcome to listen and watch. So basically, why is crisis information management critical for Tallinn? And not only for Tallinn, it's critical for all the parties that have to manage crisis. So basically, we all know that the complexity of the crisis is increasing during the times. We know that the urban crisis simultaneously affect multiple sectors. We do know that the decision-making depends on real-time information. Tallinn, as the biggest capital in Estonia, if we have a real large-scale crisis situations, there is quite a lot of information we have to process, we have to work on to make real quality decisions. So yes, decision-making really depends on real-time information what we are obtaining during the crisis situations. And also, crisis management is increasingly becoming information and data management. So, in modern crisis, the greatest challenge for us, at least, is often not only the lack of resources, but fragmented situational awareness and difficulties in maintaining an operational overview. Because we may have even resources for different kind of situations, but if the situation is really difficult and there is quite many, let's say, crisis situations in different places, we need to have really quality situational awareness, and we need to have a really good operational overview about the situation we are handling in Tallinn. So basically, I'm presenting you today Tallinn crisis management structure, and I have divided the structure into two categories. The first category is I'm explaining is how do we respond to crisis in Tallinn, and the other category is what is the Tallinn crisis management structure alike. So usually crisis response typically begins at the level of the, let's say, district or municipal department area. Maybe it's even better to watch this colorful matrix here, and I'm trying to explain how do crisis management and response in Tallinn is working. And if you are watching the green sector, this means that in Tallinn, we have a normal situation. All our regular services are functioning, nothing is happening. So in that cases, we do not need crisis commission. We do not need crisis staff. This is the normal situation in our Tallinn life. So sometimes something happens. So the next one, the yellow sector, represents that there is some regional disruption of our vital or other important services in Tallinn. This means that we do have to activate the crisis staff. For example, let's say part of our city, Lasnamäe or Mustamäe, or some part where the smaller regional disruption is happening. But this means that we don't have to activate the Tallinn Crisis Commission yet. This means that the local district can usually handle the crisis situation on their own. Then, if you are looking at the third orange sections, in that case, we do have already extensive and prolonged disruption of vital services affecting many people in Tallinn. For example, in case of extreme weather conditions, maybe we do have some water supply disruptions. And this is already, let's say, a little bit bigger and more extensive situation in Tallinn. That means that besides the crisis stuff related to district area, we might have partially activate already crisis commission in Tallinn. And the third one, the red area, this means that there is something really serious has happened in Tallinn, extremely serious crisis situations or disruption of vital services affecting the entire Tallinn, including, for example, war situation. And this red area sector means that there could be major threat to our human life and health. And in that situations, as you can see, fully all our this crisis staff and crisis commission members have been activated. So this is, let's say, the model that represents how and in different scale situations our crisis commission and staff activation works. So yes. And the next part here, it's a big and a lot of words. You don't have to dig into it, and I'm not going to dig also into it. I'm not going to explain all the groups here and all the sentences here, but I'm trying to explain through this drawing here how the major crisis situation solving in Tallinn works. And maybe it's easier to watch it like this, that if you are first watching the red section is North Regional Crisis Committee and Regional Crisis Staff. This means that the crisis situation is large scale, and the red section is not Tallinn. It's the Regional National Crisis Committee, and the Tallinn crisis structure comes from the below it, which means that we have fully activated our different kind of crisis groups. We have quite a lot of different, let's say, officials and people separated by their functions in Tallinn. Each function has to do some sort of process. And for example, if you are looking at the crisis management groups, we do have like 4 different important groups. We do have management group that has to take fast decisions related to crisis resolved. Then we have a planning group where are people and specialists and experts who, for example, solve questions about sectoral operations, sheltering, heating centers, evacuations, and so on. Then one of the really important part is, of course, the communication group. And the last group we have is a support group, which means that it starts from staff readiness, logistics, resources, operational support, and so on. So basically what I'm also trying to say and tell by showing such big scheme is that during such situations, as you can imagine, there is moving a lot of informations, and the information and how do we handle information and how do we process the information is really important, because during the crisis situations, using the information correctly and fast helps to solve the crisis situations better. So let's say it like this. In Tallinn, we have approximately 2 years. We have given thoughts about how can we make our crisis management better, and by using nowadays solutions. For example, let's say 2 years ago we solved crises like that we had Excels, Words, big screens, we had papers, phones, and we tried to manage crisis like this. This also worked, but in case of a really big data and informations, it's really vital that the information, the environment, the software, the system which is used by the crisis situation supports the solving. So approximately 2 years ago, we decided that we have to do something. We have to find some solution at least to make our crisis management better. So on the screen you can see some 3 small screens. These screens are actually taken from Microsoft Office Teams applications. So Tallinn City is using the whole city, actually, all the districts and all the officials are using Microsoft Office products. So at that point, we thought that it would be really useful to already use some sort of platform that we are already using. So basically we decided that Teams would be this platform where we can, let's say, put all the information related to different kind of crisis topics. And if you can see from the right side, we had 2 years ago a big training where we made channels for evacuation information, we had resilience center information, we had communication informations, and so on. So basically we find the first possible solutions how to manage and handle information inside the city in Tallinn. And also then the other really big challenge for us was that during the crisis situations there could be, and there is, so many different informations and tasks and yes, tasks mainly that are coming from, for example, from police, from rescue department, and that we have to also communicate and manage inside the city organizations. So we try to find some sort of solutions to handle this information. So inside the Teams applications, we then and now are using application called Planner. So we are using Planner for crisis commission logs and also tasks. For example, if you can see the center screen here, this just represents one of the crisis situations we had. We had a lot of data, we had a lot of tasks and informations where we had to have really fast to move this information inside the city organization. So let's say this was like a first straw for us to make our crisis management and information better. But there are some problems. But before I talk about problems, I'm also showing you one part of the crisis information management is, let's say, management board and how you are presenting the data to the city management and the crisis management. So this is also one of the visuals we have using now inside the Planner application, and this represents the crisis situations and especially for the managers inside the city. And this gives a pretty good overview about the state of the crisis where we are having at the moment. But that's not it. So also approximately 2 years ago, we found out such platform as Arcis platform, where we decided that it would be good to use the crisis maps for excuse me, I cannot see the slide. Okay. We decided to take into use the Arcis platform, and this means that before the platform we had all kind of different data in Tallinn, different kind of locations, in network locations, in software, in web platforms, and so on. And during the crisis situations, it was really difficult sometimes to see all the information fast and make decisions. So what we did then was that we found out that the crisis situations information can be gathered on the Arcis maps and layers. So today, basically, I'm jumping to the next slide. I'm showing the real screeners of our, let's say, crisis map. On the right screener, you can see actually what we have done this far. We have gathered together approximately 20 or even 30 types of informations, and we have put this information on the data layers on the Arcis map. And if you can see, for example, if I would click one of these data layers, I would get the data on the map. For example, we have here education buildings, we have schools, kindergartens, we have technological Tallinn's infrastructure, we have some sort of resources that we can take into use and so on basically. So this was the next step for us to put different information on a data layers, and during the Tallinn's crisis situations we can actually access the data really fast. And on the left side of the screener there is also one of the really useful function we are having today. It's also part of the ARKIS system, but what is different, I would say, from all the others local governments in Estonia, we do have a functionality for operational decision making. You can see we can, for example, we have some sort of danger situation. Let's say we have a bomb threat in Tallinn, and together with the rescue department we can assign, or we know that, let's say we have the danger diameter in Tallinn approximately 500 meters. So we can basically draw the diameter at the needed point, and the system automatically calculates the diameter, but not only diameter, but inside the diameter we get all the objects and data, and also the amount of people living inside the diameter. So during the crisis situation, this was a, let's say, remarkable step on the next level for Tallinn, because using such data that helps us to really make better operational decisions. But of course, I understand that this is not yet what we are expecting, and we do have some challenges. We do have some other, let's say, needs how to solve crisis even better. But yes. So, if I would talk about the main shortcomings of current solutions and information management challenges in Tallinn, then one thing what we don't have and what we have discussed that we really would need is that we don't have unified operational dashboard. We have, during the crisis situations, we have many different big screens, and different data is presented on different screens, which is also good. But from the management perspective and from the crisis management perspective, we are actually seeking a solution, or at least towards the solutions where we would have, let's say, some sort of operational dashboards on a big screen where we can see different kind of information, lifetime view and so on. Basically, it's like a crisis management dashboard. It's maybe a little bit difficult to say or explain in a couple of sentences, but we know that during the COVID times in the world there were quite many different dashboard solutions that helped local governments to make decisions. So this is actually one of the shortcomings and things that we are seeking in the future. Then one of the problems or worry for us is that our task management and situational awareness are separated. We do have different applications. We have different platforms of software, but we do think that at one point our crisis management and all important elements of the software or processes, they should be at least in one, let's say, container. That would be also one of the, let's say, needs what we have talked about. Then during the crisis situations, there could be need to transfer, to share all around the city different kind of crisis reserves, crisis stock. At the moment, we don't have any crisis stock management software or program. We are using Excels and papers. For example, if we are giving out some important crisis reserves, let's say electrical generators or some fuel or some other devices or something like that, then in the future we would see that this logistical or crisis stock management would be also integrated inside our let's say, dashboard or into the system that we would like to use to solve crisis. At the moment, all the crisis stock management is separate separately. And I think that the problem is that there has been even, let's say, trainings or situations where we giving out, for example, some devices or resources, and there can be mistakes afterwards during the crisis. We don't know what the units are where and so on. So basically, yes, the crisis stock management is one of the key issue for us, how to solve it in the future. And also maybe the fourth, that the fragmented information environments. At the moment, like I told before, we do have quite many different platforms and systems and spreadsheets and so on, where we are what we are using to solve our crisis. And maybe one of the challenges would be in the future to have like a more one container-based solutions. So this is just. But when we are talking about the dashboard, then I have also brought out the, let's say, the needs for a digital crisis management dashboard, what we are seeking. And I do understand that this might not be the final view, because this is what we have, let's say, discussed and what we find out would be important in Tallinn. But the four main categories would be that we would like to have at one point integrated situational awareness, a unified operational view combining data from multiple sources. At the moment, we don't have such a solution. Basically, what it means that during the crisis situations, there can be quite many different sources where some sort of data about happening is coming. So we would like to have in the future to have integrated situational awareness, let's say platform or module or whatever it is, to get it all together on the dashboard. Then one important functionality we are missing today is a real-time operational view. We do have some sort of, let's say, operational map layer on the ArcGIS, but it doesn't show us the real-time operational view. For example, if during crisis situations things change, data is changing, key factors are changing, so it would be important to have real-time operational view module as well. So, as I told before, we are missing integrated crisis stock management, because the crisis stock and crisis resource management is a really important part of the solving crisis situations. So yes, this is very important missing part for us. And the last sector is decision support. At the moment, all the decisions are being made by officials, by people who are looking on the screens, who are looking data, and by that people are making decisions. So in the future, we do believe that some sort of or some part of the decision making should be supported, for example, automated data flows or some real-time impact analysis. And also one idea, it's an idea because we don't know yet, but we think it's useful, would be possible artificial intelligence integration into the decision support making systems. So basically this was the overview about what we have in Tallinn during the crisis situation, and what we are missing, what are our challenges, and what do we need more in the future. So this is the moment where I can reply the questions, as I understand. So if there are any questions related to presentations, you can ask. And of course, my contacts, my phone number, my email is also brought out here at the end of the presentations. You can freely always write to me and ask questions related to Tallinn crisis management.